Welcome to Summer Intervention Lesson 1, titled Writing for Purpose and Audience. We're going to jump right in and explore the idea of good writing versus bad writing. It's important to note that writing can only be judged within the context of its purpose and its intended audience. That is the only way that you can determine if writing is good or bad, based on what it's written for and who it's written for. So note, purpose relates to the intended goal of a piece of writing. It's the reason a person writes, whereas audience is the intended target group for a message, regardless of whether the medium is a paper, a letter, a billboard advertisement, etc. These are the only two contexts in which you might judge a piece of writing as good or bad. Good writing is writing that does what you intend for it to do. For example, if you want to thank your young niece or nephew for something, you'll probably write in first person and you'll use an informal or casual style of writing. Whereas if you're writing something for your teacher, which is more formal, you likely won't turn in a paper that looks like a first draft. And you likely won't use casual expressions that are more informal, such as, you know, she was like, or I guess what I mean is. Those are informal expressions that are not appropriate for formal writing, such as a paper for your teacher. We will explore the idea of formal versus informal in this video. So we're going to stop there. That was a brief overview to jog our memory on the difference between formal and informal writing. For the purpose of 11th grade and writing for school and we always resort to formal writing, right? Unless told otherwise by our teachers. Moving on. Continuing with good versus bad writing. Even minimal writing on a billboard can be good writing as long as it achieves its purpose. Good or bad is not based on the length of a text or a length of a piece of writing. It's based on whether it is meeting the needs of its purpose and meeting the needs of its audience. That is how you determine what is good or bad writing. Those are the only two means of context. Okay? Moving forward, this next video is going to talk a little bit more about writing specifically for your audience.
One of those nightmares where you've been handed a test by a teacher and still don't understand what it is. Or maybe you're receiving help from boss.
So I'm going to stop this here because these are the questions that you want to consider when you are keeping in mind your audience who's going to read your writing. Right? What is the reader's position with respect to you? So who are you writing to? And what is their position, or what frame or lens they may be reading your writing from? What is the reader's perspective? What level of knowledge does the reader have about your topic? That's going to let you know how deep you need to go, or how surface, or with what tools they're going to be approaching your writing with, and what information they're going to be approaching your writing with. Also, what do you want your reader to take away from what you write? What is the purpose? What do you hope they gain? What do you hope they learn? What do you hope they do as a result from reading your writing? So that is talking about writing for an intended audience. Now let's talk about writing for an intended purpose.
Ever had this feeling you've just finished reading something, you understood everything, but it's like something is missing? Well, maybe something is missing unless you detected the author's purpose, point of view, and tone. They're just beneath the surface, but if you pay attention, they're there. So stick around and let's take a look at the author's purpose first. Hi, welcome to Snap Language. Mark Franco here. This is one in a series of videos where we'll look at elements in the text we need to identify and interpret the author's purpose, point of view, and tone. Make sure to subscribe to Snap Language so you won't miss any of our videos. These elements of writing affect what the writer actually says and how the writer says it. As the reader, detecting these elements helps you go deeper beyond simply understanding main ideas and supporting details. First, let's talk about the author's purpose. We don't write just because we can. Writing has a purpose. For example, if you write an email to Mary, a close friend you haven't seen in a long time, your purpose probably is to inform her about what's been going on in your life. When your purpose is to inform, your goal is to teach, explain, clarify, share information, elaborate on a topic. Now your friend Mary receives that information. She's the reader now. She realizes that you're sharing all this information, so Mary's goal is to learn it. You often read informative passages in textbooks, newspapers, journal articles, and so on. When you detect a passage as informative, your main goal as the reader is to learn the information. For that, you need to pay attention to any definitions, explanations, illustrations, examples, and so on. Now, let's say in your message, you tell Mary you just got a new job selling vitamins. You tell Mary how important it is to supplement your diet with vitamins. You tell her these vitamins are the best on the market. Sneaky. You want to persuade Mary to do something. Now your purpose is to persuade.
Notice how he made a very clear and connected transition. You can go from easily informing Mary about vitamins to persuading Mary to purchase vitamins. This is going to make a lot more sense once we move on to lesson 2. So keep this very particular concept in mind. How in this video, he's making a very clear connection and close transition from informing a reader about a product to persuading a reader to buy that product. Let's continue and see how he explains writing to persuade.
You use information not simply to inform, but to convince people to change their opinion, to change their point of view, or to change their behavior. When writers write to persuade, they use the information to create a logical argument. They want you to reach their conclusion by the time you finish reading. As the reader, when you detect persuasion, your job is to determine and evaluate the argument. Before you allow someone to change your belief, you want to make sure that they have a solid argument. You don't want to be convinced of something that's based on misinformation or bad logic. You'll find persuasive passages in newspaper editorials, political speeches, advertisements, passages about controversial topics, and so forth. Hey, so you can write to inform, persuade.
So we're going to stop here at persuade because that is the purpose typically for 11th grade writing. It is to persuade, and that's what we're going to focus on in the next few sets of lessons. I'm going to play the other purpose, but I want you to focus mostly on persuasion because that's going to be the main one, but I do want you to be aware that there are 3 here. Inform, persuade, and he's going to tell us about the last one.
Entertain. This is the namesake, a novel about a couple that immigrated to the United States. They had children here, went through cultural shock. The writer wrote this to entertain. When writers write to entertain, their goal is to tell a story or tell a joke. They present information, but their main goal is not necessarily to teach or to try to persuade you of anything. It's just something for you to appreciate, like reading poems too. When you detect the purposes to entertain, you need to pay attention to literary devices such as the characters, the plot, the use of figurative language, what the message is, or the moral of the story, and so on. Sometimes when you read a novel or a poem, you may learn something about the world. The author may even have a message on a controversial topic. But the main purpose is not really to inform or persuade. The primary purpose is still to entertain. There's a 4th purpose that people don't often talk about because it can be lumped together with one of the others. Writers sometimes write simply to share insights or feelings on a topic.
So we're going to stop there. In our next video, we are going to explore some very brief pieces of writing, and we're going to evaluate whether they are good or bad based on their intended audience and purpose. So stay tuned for video 2 of lesson 1, writing for purpose and audience.